What is up, bros? Welcome back to another episode of
Fall
Porch
is
Time.
here. Look
Pastor,
at the leaves.
it is still, today's the first day, up until today, it has still felt like steamy trash. It still felt pretty hot. But there's a breeze. Rain is forecasted this week. Couple things you need to be made aware of. One, Red Raiders somehow pulled off a victory on Saturday. Mind-blowing, ranked number 25 today. So I don't know how your team is doing. I try to put the Cowboys out of my head because they're just awful this year, so we don't think about that.
Is it working?
Is what we're
Are you putting the Cowboys out of your head?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
All right, good.
Yep, that's working.
All right.
So anyways, excited for fall. Hey, if you have leaves changing at your house, like put a picture on the Alumni Network and show us, because like it's going to be probably December before the leaves turn here. And
They're falling.
Yeah. So, okay, couple of things that I want to share with you today. Something that just really hit me over the weekend. So, I've been rereading the story of David and Goliath. If you've been around church any length of time, you know that story, familiar with that story. But it's amazing how much we think we know about that story. And as I was rereading it, there's some things that stood out to me that I thought bear weight on this thing called recovery that we're all engaged in. So, 1 Samuel 17, Goliath is talking trash. Speaking against God, speaking against the army of Israel, and you're noticing the ADD. There's hummingbirds flying around, so that's what we're watching. Yeah, but it was really mind-numbing to me. Saul made some observations of David and of Goliath and assumed they were limitations. He told David, "You are not able to do this." He goes, "You're too young." And he said, by the way, Goliath has been a boss since he was young, like basically saying you have no shot. And what's so amazing is if you go read that passage, David doesn't even speak to that. He just begins to recount God's faithfulness in his life. And he said, the same God who delivered me from these other things, he's going to be faithful and deliver me again. So David's brain was fixed on God's faithfulness, not on what he thought, what others thought were limitations in his life. And so Saul makes this real sarcastic comment. At the very end, he goes, okay, great, God, go, and God be with you. And I don't think he meant that. I think he was just kind of a sarcastic, tongue-in-cheek comment. And then we find Saul trying to put his armor on David. And you know the story. It doesn't fit. And David throws it off. He said, I hadn't trained with this. I can't use this. All David went to work with was what was in his hands. All David fought with was what God had given him, and it was mixed with faith and the faithfulness of God. And so I want to share that with you, one, because it's really hard to fight with somebody else's weapons. It's really hard to fight with somebody else's armor. And when we think about recovery, we get really distracted as we look at everybody else's recovery journey around us, and we assume that based on the observations we make of them, we may not be doing as well as they are. And I think that sets us up for failure. You've heard the silly quote, we can always find somebody better than we are, and we can always find somebody worse than we are. And so I want to encourage you today as you think about this journey of recovery, this journey of sanctification that we're all on, to look at what God has placed in your hands and choose today, commit today to fix your thoughts, fix your eyes, your affections on the faithfulness of God. Because what Saul said sarcastically, whether he knew it or not, it was legit. God is with us. That's the covenant promise of Scripture. God is with you. He's with us. And that should change how we fight our battles this week. And for me, a lot of times, I'm guilty like Saul. I make observations and I assume limitations. And so I don't know what that is for you. Somebody may be looking at you this week going, hey, you can't do this because you are fill in the blank, or you can't do this because you're only, or you haven't. I don't know what your blank is, but I want to challenge you like David. Don't even address that. Don't even waste your time addressing that stuff. Stay focused on what God has put in your hands. Stay focused on the God who is with you and will go with you into your battles. And
I think some feedback along that lines is when you've got family members that are toxic, and you somehow feel like I've got to go make that better because you get that people-pleasing thing. You are not defined by what they think. So don't run that direction. I know a good friend who was starting to run that direction going, wait a minute, Why are you doing that? Because they only see you a certain way.
Yeah.
And don't believe that, because and they're never going to change. So don't believe that. Believe in who you are. And I think what I'm hearing is David believed who he was and who God was and what the work God had done.
He knew who he was.
Life. Yeah.
And this is the thing, brothers. Quit trying to change everybody around you.
Yeah.
Can I just tell you that? Like, I've seen more and more of that. We're all guilty of that. Stop trying to change everybody. You're not Jesus. You're not going to fix them. And I hate to say it, but there are going to be some people that no matter what you do, you're never going to please. You're never going to make happy. And I think as soon as you realize what other people think of you is their problem. It's not your problem. Amen. But when you dwell on it and you focus on it, it does become your problem. Mm-hmm. And I think a lot of times as men, we forget our identity, partially because we've anchored it in what we do or fail to do. And it shouldn't shock us when we're beat down and discouraged when that's our mindset and our frame of reference.
And we get stuck in isolation by not giving guys the chance to speak into that, and we start believing that stuff. So if you're leaning that way, there was a quote I heard over the weekend that said basically, any man can believe anything in isolation that he wants, and is not even in touch with reality. So find a guy, find a brother, reach out to them, and have that relationship stuff, because without that, you're stuck in your own thoughts and feelings and thinking that I'm not any good, and that's not true.
Yeah, and you need some guys who will speak truth to you, but not just truth, but truth in context. Saul was speaking truth in what he was saying to David. You're right, Goliath has been a baller since the day he was able to shave, and you're right, David, you are a youth, and that's partially true. I just don't know that it was contextually true, because Saul had failed to figure God in. And so you need some guys in your life who will not just speak truth to you, because a lot of people that one of the things I've noticed over 5 years, a lot of people who speak truth to you are trying just to change you instead of love you and walk with you and just be in the fight with you. And so you need some brothers who will speak truth, but speak truth in context. And we just keep hammering this. I can't say it enough. Find some brothers who will do that. And maybe the hardest thing for us is to be the friend that we wish others would be to us. You may have to take a leap of faith and be that for somebody as you're looking for it. There's something else we were going to tell them. We've got a deal coming up on November 2nd.
We got a deal.
We got a thing.
We got a thing. Hey, celebrating freedom. If you've come through the Trek program and you're grateful like I am that God did this incredible work here, we're going to celebrate that. We're going to have some stories being told, some wives telling their stories, some guys telling their stories. We're going to worship. We got an awesome worship team coming from. Yep. Where are they coming from?
Coming from Augusta. Good friends of mine just released a live worship album. Really excited for them to come. And they're gonna melt faces. It's gonna be phenomenal.
Yeah. Chef Dave's got desserts there. Staff will be there. You can meet with staff.
We'll be there.
We'll be there. Yes. Yeah. If you're out of state and you can't make it, we're actually trying to figure out how we can live stream it on either YouTube or Facebook Live.
But here's the thing, man. Uber, come on. Come hang out with us. Whether you live here or not, it doesn't matter. Come hang out. If you've got friends who were a part of your recovery journey, you got family who were a part of that, you got some friends interested in what Hope Quest is about, bring them. Right. Come on. But you mentioned something. What did you say? RSVP?
RSVP. Yeah, I'm going to put an email right here. I need you to RSVP. Let me know that you're coming. How many's coming with you? I've only announced this. We announced this like one time last week on the video, and I've already got 50 people signed up to come. And I'm thinking, gosh, God, it would be great if we had 100. So we still have a few weeks to go.
That's nothing, man.
I would love to maybe go up to 150, 200 people.
That's nothing. So, but here's the thing. Let me translate for what you just heard. When Steve says, "I need you to RSVP," that is Greek for. No, really, brothers, get online, sign up, tell us whether or not you're coming. We need to know this. Typically, you hear RSVP and it's like, whatever. For real, get on the Alumni Network or your email and come, and it's free.
It's F-R-E-E.
It's free. Just show up, bring your face. And here's the thing. Normally, we tell you on these videos, hey, this is the best 5 minutes of your week. We're lying.
Which is...
It's not. But when we tell you this event, like, I'm dead serious, you are going to hate your life if you don't come. Like, you'll find yourself in church the Sunday after you miss that event going, what's wrong in my life? And the Lord will convict you and tell you, well, you missed it.
It's kind of like an awesome experience that you're not a part of. You come back and go, oh, why did I miss that?
Yeah, so I just...
World Series will be over.
Yeah.
So you can't use that as
But
an excuse.
but listen, it doesn't even matter.
It's a Friday night.
It's a Friday night. Show up.
Yeah.
It's free.
Free. Get
And
to hang out with us.
There was something else I was going to tell. We were going to say. I forgot what it was. Oh, hey, get on the alumni network. It's the best secret in the whole game right now, and you're missing out if you're not on our alumni network. Dial in. Everybody talks about how much they want community and they want people who understand the Trek journey. We have created it for you.
Yes, we have. And
You just got to get on there and interact, and you do Facebook till you're blue in the face. You do that all night long. Instagram and tweets and MySpace and Zanga, whatever you do. It's just like that, except it's better.
it's great stuff for recovery. We even have people from Canada on there now. Can you believe that?
We're gonna. I'll deal with that.
Oot. They don't say out. They say.
I'll
oot.
deal with that promptly.
What's
We'll
up
get
with
him.
that?
We'll get them out of here.
A boot. This is a boat.
Yeah. And they're all little.
You know who
they're
you
all
are.
little too. They're short and little.
Yeah, we had to
Really
find a special stick for them.
We
walking
did. We
stick.
did. That was
Yeah.
fun. Okay, we're done rambling on. I hope you guys have a great week. If there's something we can pray for, zip us an email. Send an email to whatsup@hopequestgroup.org. We'll put that in the description box below. Let us know how you're doing. We're always grateful every time we get update emails from our guys, from our family.
Yep.
Chime in. Get on the Alumni Network. Tell us how you're doing. And thank you, as always, for watching these. We're stunned that anybody watches them because we're just out here flapping our teeth and staring at the hummingbirds. But anyways, love you dudes to death. Thank you for the work you're doing. Proud of you guys. And until next week, man, get off our porch.